As Albert Einstein once said, in the midst of every crisis lies great opportunity. With its economy grinding to a halt, Sri Lanka, the pearl of the Indian Ocean, is facing its biggest economic challenge since independence. In this background, the Advocata Institute is committed to reviving Sri Lanka's economy through market-based policy ideas. Amidst the ongoing economic crisis, Advocata has been continuing its efforts in pushing for economic reforms and has been recognized both nationally and globally for its efforts made through thought leadership and advocacy for free market reforms. In 2022, Advocata won 2 globally recognized awards. Advocata has also published 3 groundbreaking reports and launched a cutting-edge website on state-owned enterprises. Also, Advocata has had 50 media appearances. Advocata has hosted 2 high-level roundtable discussions in collaboration with the High Commission of New Zealand, the Central Bank, and policy experts. Overall, Advocata has driven the reform agenda by achieving an overall reach of 4 million on all its social media platforms. Through our social media impact, Advocata was able to work through the tough times and win big on policy reforms by contributing towards lowering taxes on sanitary napkins and ending price controls. While participating in public discussions as an independent, non-partisan think tank, Advocata has engaged with all political parties by providing policy briefs and information on Sri Lanka's economic analysis. As a voice for the voiceless, Advocata's strength lies in its media outreach and advocacy with over 50 appearances on national and international media outlets.
So as a citizen, I'd like to ask this question that is 13 years since the end of the conflict. Do we need such a large military? The Sri Lankan army is bigger than the British army. And the UK is over 3.5 times the size of population. It's a global power.
Throughout the years, Advocata's work was given recognition through renowned economists, experts, and policymakers like Professor Montek Singh Ahluwalia, Professor Mick Moore, Dr. S. Narayan, and Professor Ricardo Hausmann.
Advocata is really a remarkable organization. It's a privilege to have an organization like Advocata that really organizes things world class and calls the country to a really important debate.
Advocata continues to work towards an inclusive society where everyone can succeed through equal opportunity. Earlier this year, Advocata hosted the Freedom for Her conference to generate the necessary labor reforms to create opportunities for women to enter and remain in the workforce. Advocata launched its Tamil language platform Advokural to cater to the Tamil audience of Sri Lanka. Advocata hosted a range of discussions in 3 languages on current topics to engage with the public. These also included conversations and roundtable discussions on some of the most debated topics with experts. Advocata launched its very own academy to improve the economic literacy of fellow Sri Lankans and guide them towards more rational and research-driven economic decisions.
It can be a very well-developed country if we are prepared to bite the bullet and make the changes that need to be taken.
The Advocata Academy includes a series of educational videos produced by the Institute. Since 2020, when an economic crisis was largely unforeseeable, Advocata identified and highlighted the problem while also suggesting reforms such as those relating to fiscal management and debt sustainability in order to achieve overall economic growth. In the midst of unprecedented civil unrest, Advocata accepted the challenge to host Sri Lanka's first ever Reset Economic Reform Conference, drawing a panel of local and international experts whose knowledge has guided countries through financial turmoil towards prosperity.
We can't go back to the old economy. We can't go back to that model. I was one of those who were involved in 1977 in creating that open market economy. But we did not keep up with the changes. We did not keep up with globalization. And today we are paying the price.
The conference highlighted key reforms areas to help reset Sri Lanka's economy and guide the country towards prosperity. The conference was attended by distinguished keynote speakers Dr. Veerathai Santi Prabob, the former governor of the Bank of Thailand, and Professor Premachandra Tukorala, Professor of Economics at the Australian National University and senior advisor to Advocata Institute.
Dealing with the crisis, when we have to talk about stabilization, talking about restructuring, we need to be quite forward-looking in the measures that we do.
To continue the conversation on reforms and delve deeper into discussions on various public policy topics, Advocata launched its Reset Now podcast.
Hello everyone, I'm Sumaya and you are watching the Advocata's Reset Now podcast, a podcast where we talk about all things reform.
The think tank stands where it does because of the team behind it. We thank the team members, past and present, for all their hard work and contributions in bringing Advocata to the place it is today. It is through the assistance and encouragement received that Advocata ends the year by marking two major milestones. Advocata was awarded the Asia Liberty Award, surpassing more than 47 think tanks regionally. Advocata was recognized for its impact as a leading voice in Sri Lanka, promoting free market reforms as a means of alleviating the country's current economic crisis.
And the award goes to Advocata Institute from Sri Lanka.
Advocata was also awarded the most prestigious Templeton Freedom Award, completing alongside 540 think tanks from over 100 countries internationally. Advocata is on a mission to bring necessary economic reforms for the prosperity of fellow Sri Lankans, and in its journey of achieving this mission, Advocata was able to bring recognition to Sri Lanka on a global scale and be recognized for its efforts in battling through the economic crisis. As Albert Einstein said, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. The Advocata team would also like to extend its gratitude and appreciation towards all its donors, advisors, well-wishers, support services, critics, and the general public for all their support and contributions towards Advocata's success. It is your encouragement that has empowered us to play a bigger role in reforming our economy, and which in time we hope will have a lasting impact on our lives for achieving liberty and freedom.